Fighting Myself is a 20-year-old song. This is a demo that we barely finished. Then it got put on the hard drive and left there. The thing that inspired the song was XXL shirts, size 40 Dickies, DC chunky skateboard shoes, and potentially some like Hot Topic jewelry and dog collars and stuff like that. The fact that you watch the old videos of us at this time, like wearing that stuff and traveling around the world for the first time on tour, like we were kids. We were really, we were like early 20s, and writing about the things that early 20s kids write about, right? Sometimes these thoughts in my head speak so loud. Every little thing that I think about just builds on top of the pain and doubt. Even though I want to just let it out, I try to act like I don't mind it. Try to keep my mouth so quiet, but sitting there in my silence just seems to amplify it. Chester and I would work together on words. Like, I always wrote my own raps, and then his parts we would write. Like, I might write it and he would sing it. He might write it and I would tweak it with him and then he would sing it. Or we'd kind of like come together and come up with something together. But the rap verses were always me. So my challenge with those was to pull out some of the things that were, like, I might be writing about him, his perspective, in my rap verse in order to tie it to the chorus, if that makes sense. So like there are parts of this about sitting in silence and it amplifying the bad thoughts and stuff. That was very much like a reflecting him, because he would brood on stuff. Like he would like, you'd be like, you good? And he'd be like, I'm fine. And you knew he was not fine, but it was like he was too quiet. When I thought that keeping this inside would make it better, I never thought that I would end up ruining it forever. But every time I think I got everything put back together, I end up making more regrets. When you are a young person and you make a mistake, sometimes you think you've ruined everything. And that sounds very exaggerated, but like you really do feel that way. I remember feeling like, oh no, like this is never gonna, it's broken and you can never fix it. This relationship, this thing I said to that person or whatever, right? I think those things are really, they're maybe melodramatic, but they're also real. That's really how you feel. Falling from grace, I watch it all come apart, knowing I could have changed it all from the start. Fighting myself, I always lose. Fighting myself, I always lose. When someone feels like they're at like war with themselves, then they're always the winner and they're always the loser, right? He and I both were very aware of that fact. It's a powerful lyric. It's a sad lyric, but I think that's what makes the song like really like potent in a way. I didn't want you to think I'm worn out so easily. I wished I'd held it in so you never knew what built up inside of me. Now I don't know how it overflows, spilled out unwillingly. Now everything that I learned to hate came out for you to see. I remember this verse being about saying things that you wish you could have taken back. I'm the type of person who will, the next day after a conversation, will be like, I should have said that. Like, oh, that was my, like, if I had thought to say this, it would have been so much better than what I actually said. Like either it would have been more effective at communicating where I'm coming from, or it would have hurt their feelings more, or it would have been way funnier, or it would have been way less stupid. Like, I will totally think of those things like way later, 2 days later, 3 days later, I'll think of those things. I don't want you to promise you can change everything and make it better, because you can bet I'm gonna end up ruining it forever. And every time you think you got everything put back together, I end up making more regrets. I didn't write always about me. Like I was like, almost like observing friends' relationships with other people and things they would do and things they do to me, things they do to themselves, things they do to their significant other. I know that in the second verse, I can just smell that there's elements of broken relationships. Some people I know in particular who had very dysfunctional relationships and they were like looking for a way out of it. Just like drawing like connections between people's stories and saying, yeah, this thing that happened to me, this thing that happened to them, and this thing that happened to them, they're all the same thing really. And I'm gonna write the song about that thing. I can't run with this weight on my back. I can't see because I'm focused on the past. I can't breathe. I need to break free from the anger that is constantly inside me. The funny part about this bridge, to like listening to it back now, is that it's really a rap. I'm really rapping, but it's Chester singing. Like, I know how I can see that if I said those things, it would sound like a rap verse. Part of the hybrid theory, part of the idea of the integration of the parts was how many different ways can we blend all the stuff that we love in ways that's unique to us, or that either maybe it builds on top of stuff that is great that we love. And so this was more experimenting with that, I think. Story-wise, thematically, there's frustration happening the whole time. Like, I'm breaking everything. I'm fighting myself, almost like I can't win. And then in the bridge, it's a realization that, like, I'm the problem. Like, I need to get out of this cycle. I need to break free from this cycle of what I keep doing to myself and what I keep doing to other people. And that was an ongoing theme for us. It wasn't just me and Chester. I think it was all the guys in the band. Like, the guys are very emotionally intelligent, and we would raise these topics as our lives are changing and this band has become a thing. Are we being as good as we can be? Are we being as smart as we could be, et cetera? Or can we just get better at stuff? And so the ideas of breaking old patterns, it was something that we did talk about a lot.